What's up guys? You are just in time for Just in Time. About today was something that I hold very closely to my heart. It's about empathizing with people when they're on different levels in their life. Now, we always hear a lot about this in terms of, different people are in different seasons or they're in different places. I find it extremely true. And not only in different seasons, but as an individual, where they are currently in their life, in their personal development and stuff like that. Now, why do I say this is because sometimes once we have grown past that stage in our lives, so whatever it may be, that maybe getting over a certain fear or whatever, once we are over it, it becomes difficult for us to then bring ourselves back down to understand people that are currently just going through it, especially if we have conquered it many years ago. Personally, for me, that's how, talking to people, I had to conquer that at a very, very early age. When I was about 5 or 7, I was already put in very uncomfortable situations where I had to learn to talk to people or I wouldn't have many friends. So I guess that's why it's difficult for me at the age of 23 to then bring myself back down to when I was 7, to remember that turmoil, that hardship, that fear, that anxiety that I went through, and then use that feeling to empathize with somebody that's my age. Because it's like, I went through that when I was 7, I put myself through that when I was 7. Yes, it comes off as arrogant, I will definitely admit that. And it's difficult for me to empathize, but the analogy that I personally love to use is as if you're in the gym. So if you're in the gym, maybe there's one guy that is bench pressing at 30 aside versus another guy that can only bench maybe 5 aside. Now, if that 30 aside bumped it up to 40 aside, he will struggle a lot. But if the guy from 5 aside bumped it up to 15 aside, he will also struggle a lot. And the thing is that the struggle is both very real to each of them. And although the exact numbers are different, that feeling of being stretched, of being pulled, of being challenged is the same for both of them because they're going past their comfort level. And that's what I then use to remind myself, be it in sports, be it in speech or anything, that I have to tell myself that different people are at different seasons. I was just blessed because I got to go through my hardships when I was younger, and maybe not everybody had that chance, that had the opportunity, or they didn't have someone that's pushing them to go past where they are right now. And I was just talking to my friend, and now once we can recognize that in ourselves, we're able to see it more and more like that. We're able to see it in other people. And again, when I want to make this video, I didn't want to seem as if I am judging other people. I didn't want to seem as if I am razzing on them. I more wanted to bring it to our attention, just like I consciously brought it into my own. Sometimes we judge people for being bad at the stuff we are good at, and we forget that to get good at that thing, we were once bad at it also. And also, we always have something that we're bad at. We're not good at everything. And that's what I need to remind myself so often of, is that I always take other people's weaknesses and I compare it with my strength, which is extremely unfair. It should be like your weakness versus my weakness, and not the exact weakness, but that struggle that you feel when you're trying to correct your weakness. That should be how we're comparing each other or how we're bettering each other, not taking my strength, and razzing on your weakness. Is unfair in that way. And I really, really hope that we'll be able to recognize and just be kinder and more understanding with everybody around us, especially our loved ones, because sometimes we take them for granted and we're always we char them as usual on their shortcomings. And again, it's just recognizing that different people are good at different things. And I want to always remind myself also that even though I'm good at something, I started out not being good at it. And I need to be understanding as other people are going through that journey at a different stage in their life. So that's what I wanted to share today. Thank you for watching. But kindness can come in any type of form. For instance, what I went through is that recently, if you follow my Instagram, my car broke down, and then the student up like that. So she was taking a lot of time to, how are you? How's your day going?